The Pentagon is undergoing a significant shift in its research priorities, with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announcing the cancellation of over 90 social science studies, many focused on climate change and its security implications. This marks a stark departure from previous military assessments that considered climate change a significant security concern. The announcement came through official channels and was reinforced through social media, demonstrating a clear change in institutional direction under the new administration. Hegseth made his position clear through a direct post on social media platform X, stating that Department of Defense does not do climate change crap. This unequivocal statement was later amplified when an official Pentagon account confirmed it is, fact-check true, signaling a definitive change in institutional stance on climate-related research. The timing of this announcement, coming shortly after Hegseth took office on January 25, 2025, as part of President Trump's new administration, indicates a rapid implementation of new policy priorities. The scope of these cancellations is broad, affecting studies that examine various aspects of global security and social dynamics. Among the terminated research projects are investigations into climate vulnerability in Africa's Sahel region and studies on war narratives and identity in evolving conflicts. Specifically, projects like social and institutional determinants of vulnerability and resilience to climate hazards in the African Sahel, and food fights, war narratives and identity reproduction in evolving conflicts, have been terminated. The Pentagon estimates these cancellations will result in approximately $30 million in annual savings. This policy shift represents a significant reversal from previous military assessments. A 2018 Pentagon study had identified climate change as a threat to nearly half of all U.S. military installations worldwide. This comprehensive assessment had highlighted vulnerabilities in military infrastructure and operations due to climate-related factors, demonstrating the previous administration's recognition of climate change as a significant security consideration. During the Biden administration, the Department of Defense had integrated climate change considerations into military planning, including war games and simulations. This approach reflected a broader understanding of climate change as a potential threat multiplier that could affect military operations, base security, and global stability. The current cancellation of climate-related studies represents a complete reversal of this strategic assessment framework. The change aligns with broader policy shifts under the Trump administration, which recently withdrew from the UN's Climate Damage Fund. This fund was established to assist vulnerable nations in managing climate disaster impacts, particularly in developing countries facing immediate climate-related challenges. The withdrawal continues a pattern of the administration distancing itself from multilateral initiatives and international cooperation frameworks. The historical context is particularly relevant here. Over the past decade, military and intelligence officials had consistently identified climate change as a potential security threat, particularly concerning natural disasters in densely populated coastal areas and their impact on military installations globally. These assessments were based on extensive research and analysis of how environmental changes could affect military readiness, infrastructure, and global security dynamics. The cancellation of these studies raises fundamental questions about the military's approach to emerging security challenges. The affected research spans beyond climate change, touching on various social science topics that previously informed military planning and strategy. This includes studies on global migration patterns, social trends, and evolving conflict dynamics, all of which were considered relevant to national security planning. The implications of these cancellations extend beyond immediate budgetary considerations. The decision affects the military's capacity to study and prepare for various social and environmental factors that could impact national security. This includes understanding population movements, resource conflicts, and regional stability issues that were previously considered relevant to military planning and strategic assessment. The Pentagon's new direction has garnered attention from both supporters who view it as a necessary refocusing of military priorities and critics who argue it might leave the military less prepared for certain types of security challenges. The decision represents not just a change in research funding but a fundamental shift in how the Department of Defense approaches security threat assessment and preparation. This policy change occurs within a complex global security environment where various factors, including environmental changes, social dynamics, and international relations, intersect with military preparedness and national security considerations. The cancellation of these 91 studies suggests a narrowing of the Pentagon's research focus and a significant reorientation of how the military evaluates and prepares for future security challenges. The move also reflects a broader ideological shift in how the administration approaches both scientific research and national security planning. By explicitly rejecting climate change as a factor in military planning, the Pentagon under Hegseth's leadership is establishing a new paradigm for what constitutes relevant security research and preparation, potentially affecting military readiness and strategic planning for years to come.